Hi, I'm Wax House from the internet, and I've decided to don this fetching sweater so that I can teach you how to get a sub 20 time in Kid Chameleon in the 100,000 points trip category. Now, first I'll try to go over a few just basic things about the game in general. So there are, I believe, 9 different characters you can be, and of those 9 characters in this run, you should only see 7 of them. Juggernaut won't be used at all, which is unfortunate, and sometimes Iclops is used as a backup, which I will show you. I will go over both the a good solid way to get through the level. It won't be world record strats, but a good solid way to get through the level, and also backup strategy in case things fall apart. Okay, another thing to know, the diamonds. Each character has a different diamond threshold, and when you use those diamonds, which you do by holding the A button and pressing start, or just pressing them both at the same time, though if you hit start first, it'll pause the game, so you want to hold A and then hit start. Those will give you diamond powers, and each helmet has different diamond powers. For the purposes of this speed run, the thresholds are 20 and 50. And for our purposes, we really only want the 20 threshold. But we'll go over some of that once we get a little closer. The main point is, if you get to 49, and you're going to need to use a 20 diamond power move soon, try to avoid that 50th diamond, because that'll give you a completely different power-up that might not help you the way you want it to. Okay, another important thing is you can buffer inputs in this game. This comes in most handily in the beginning of levels. So it's good to memorize which levels you're going to want to jump first in, because you can hold the jump button to get that jump input. It's also true in some other instances, but that really won't come up too much. In this run, you'll have to fight 2 of the 4 bosses, and they can be a little tricky. So I'll try to go over some of that too. Okay, let's get in. So I'm not going to do this because I play the game in a weird way, but first thing you'll probably want to do is go into these options here. So if you hit the start button, this is the menu screen. You go to options, go down to the speed button, and then change it to fast action push for slow. So what that means is, normally, as you can see here, that the A button is the speed button. So if you're playing on normal action, holding the A button means Kid Chameleon will run the whole time. And letting go of the A button, not pressing it, means he's at a walking speed. I personally did not know you could change this, so as a young Wax, I held the run button the whole time, not knowing any better. So that's how I learned to play. But I suggest for anyone else starting the game, not used to it, just go to fast action push for slow. I'm not going to do that, but I suggest that you should. So then you go to start 1, and then I'll hit, let me save this here. So now you're on Blue Lake Woods, the very first level. I suggest just buffering the jump button to get over this. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is hold the B button, which is jump. And you can change the controls to customize how you want it to be. There is an option in there. In fact, let's go back. If these controls don't work for you, there is a way you can change these all around. Right here, mode 2. It gives you all the options that you could want that are available. So the first thing you want to do, Blue Lake Woods 1, is jump right away. I know that's not what you've maybe seen me or Peaches or some others do, but it's hardly any time loss at all, and it's way easier. And the key here, so with a 100K trip, the thing is, when you touch the flag in High Water Pass 1, you need to have 60,000 points or more. If you don't, you cannot take the 100,000 point trip. And one of the keys for early, for early runners is to not get hit. If you get hit in one of the first 3 levels, take damage, you're going to be in trouble. You can still make you can get hit once and still make the trip, but there's a special way that you have to do it. So I suggest just trying to not get hit. So, buffer the jump button. Well, I didn't make it. Let's try that again. There we go. It's because, so you see jumping on top of these hills. I'll go over that again. So you end up right on top of there. You just run across. This is just jumping. Avoid this guy. A little jump right there at the rubber blocks. So a lot of this looks confusing, and I'll go over it. So here's another important point to notice. I got that speed bonus. You're going to need the speed bonuses in the first 3 levels in order to have enough points. Okay? So we buffer again. Run across. Over this guy. Try to go in, when you jump over this guy, try to go in between him and the P block, and then jump from about the rubber. Jump just a little tight, just a little small jump. Once you're on top of the... In fact, let me see if you even need to jump. You do slow down a little when you try to run up a hill. And then from that, so from this, let's see, what hill number is that? So you're gonna run off this one. So there's this hill with the step, then there's this regular, and then off the top of this hill, you want to jump right onto those rubber blocks. You'll have to turn a little, and then if you run right off them, well, we've been waiting too long, but if you run right off them with the right speed, you should bounce right off that. There's going to be a dragon there. If not, that's okay. And you'll bounce right off the dragon, and then if you do it well, you'll be able to bounce off these rubber blocks and onto that platform, and then you'll be able to just move to the end. Let's do the whole level again, since it's pretty quick. If you run into a few things, that's okay. There's no real secret to that. It's just when to kind of let go of the B button. Don't worry about that hill flip that I just did there. That's just like a potential 1 frame time save. So if you get to the end of this and you don't, make that, let's show you if you don't make that jump. So you're down here. You can do this. So this is another thing. When you're a kid and you jump up to a platform, when his sprites are about halfway between, why isn't he doing it? There we go. I guess it's more like 3/4 of the way. You can hit the B button again as long as your pixels are next to the pixels you're trying to spin on, and do that little spin to grab up to an extra ledge. So that's kind of kids' ability, is to do that little spin like that. Okay? So buffer B and right. B and right. Buffer B and right. A little bit of a hop. Run down here, top of this hill with the bush on it. Boingy, boingy. And we hit the flag. You don't need to duck into the flag. It saves like a frame or something. So now we move on to Blue Lake Woods 2.